What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another great episode of Road Talk. And today, guys, we will be diving into chapter 1063, and we pick up where we left off last chapter, right after Luffy, Jewelry Bonnie, and Chopper was stuffing their face. Dr. Vegapunk decides it's time for her to leave them alone, and she has a job to get back to. Her job, she got to get back to her violence.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not. It's
Gets
gross.
the people going.
And I was shocked just as Luffy, like, what is that? But then you can see later on that you can see that it looks like in the background, Atlas is back to doing some shenanigans, probably destroying stuff and just punching stuff for no reason. And I guess that's her main priority, to do stuff like that. And maybe that's how some adventures come about when you're with Dr. Vegapunk. Maybe when he is a little bit violent, he creates new things and it inspires him in different types of ways. When Dr. Vegapunk finally leaves the Straw Hat crew alone and has to get back to her job, we start to see civilians start to emerge from wherever they were lurking at that moment. And Jinbei calls upon himself and say maybe they was weary of the new travelers, the Straw Hat people, these people that's foreign from this land coming into their town. And they are pirates, so why wouldn't you be scared? But I actually have a different opinion about that. I think they're just really terrified of Atlas. Come on now, Atlas is Dr. Vegapunk's violence side. Like, so anytime that violence side is out and about, I think y'all better be scared, because you never know what's actually gonna happen. Even that dragon that Dr. Vegapunk went back to fight again for no reason whatsoever, I think that is why it was portrayed why they came out after Dr. Vegapunk left at that time. To go even further and to prove what I'm saying, it could be actually really real, is right after Luffy, Jewelry Bonnie, and Chopper and Jinbei gets a new outfit change, there is a cop that presents themselves. And I'm gonna get into the cop a little later, give you the name and everything. But if the people were really scared of the new invaders to the island, why not wait till the cop comes to the town and to handle all those bad pirates? Because I know personally, if there is something that's really bad going on, like there's a pirates invading a village, I'm staying in until I know that problem is actually resolved.
Police! Police! Help! Police! Help! Police! Help! Help! Police! Help!
And I feel like those civilians at that time saw Atlas move away, so they was like, okay, it's time for us to come back out. We can be good. We can do our job now. And that's more of my proof in the pudding. They did not wait for the cop to finish his job. They waited to Atlas to leave, even though Luffy, Jinbei, Jewelry Bonnie was all there, still present on that time. That gives you more context to me about what the purposes of Dr. Vegapunk's creations is. The violence is probably a creator to destroy things and then at the same time make things better or something like that. Because even then you see this like recycled dog in there just destroying something and chew it apart. And I think that's because Dr. Vegapunk needs somebody to remove some of this stuff at sometimes, and that's more like a demolition squad that comes in, but it's still at the same time being a smart science. And the last thing about Dr. Vegapunk, because I was just over a week span just thinking about Dr. Vegapunk, Alice, we know that she has the gloves that is able to touch light, hence hitting the dragon that's made out of light. What if she can do something opposite with that? And the opposite meaning, could she or Dr. Vegapunk make some gloves that's able to touch darkness with no hockey usage or whatever? Just need to put some gloves on and you'll be able to touch darkness. Only reason why I brought that up, because something later on in the chapter, if you guys read already, something later on in the chapter is making me think like it has to have a purpose for them to go here, and I think they need something extra crucial for this person. Let's get back to the story though. That cop that I was telling you guys about, that is none other than Kuma, a pacifist cop that patrols the land of Egghead. And this is something that I do love about Luffy, because Luffy is starting to have that insight of the sense of danger, or sense of time of action, and he wants that smoke. So I can sense that Luffy is showing a little bit more maturity into this chapter right here, because he's saying, is that the bear that I think he's about to make a run for us? And I don't know if that's observation haki that he's making that observation in, but I do believe that Luffy is showing the signs of maturity. Like, okay, it's time to us to start acting serious. We already ate, we got our clothes on, so let's get back to business. And the reason why the cop Kuma, the pacifista, is patrolling the streets right now is because somebody stole some clothes and then they stole food, and that's none other than our crew that's there right now: Jinbei, Luffy, Chopper, and Juribani, if you want to count her part of the crew right now. But they stole stuff, so that police is out to handle those thieves at this moment. As I'm looking at this fight, I'm thinking exactly what everybody else is thinking, because they stole some things, they stole some food and everything. Let's say it could be up to $1,000, just hypothetically, $1,000 berries or whatever. What this pacifista did, this cop came in using his light beams and destroying like half of the city already in one blast. I think those charges go way up past the $1,000 mark. So it's kind of a little backwards here, maybe because we are in violence territory that it really doesn't really mean nothing, but who knows at this moment. I thought it was funny. And just as Jinbei and Luffy is gearing up, pun intended, to fight this pacifista, because Luffy knows these pacifistas are pretty strong. If you don't fight them back and you keep running away, things is not probably really gonna favor out for you. And Luffy is the emperor, so he knows he's able to handle a pacifista. So he decides to go ahead, use his like one of his gear thirds, Haki Fist, and when he does that, he gets blindsided by Juribani. And we all know the reason why Juribani would decide to tell Luffy to stop fighting this person, and that's because she even says it on this chapter, that's her dad. That's her daddy. So anytime this person, these pacifistas get attacked, she sees that as her dad, and that takes a whole toll on her. And then Luffy was like, and Jinbei was like, this is the cyborg you was telling us about that is now your father? Like, dang, like this story just got real deep for them, man. And I feel like Luffy is definitely not going to dig deeper into Juribani, because he doesn't like when people mess with other people's families and friends and stuff like that. So I think Luffy is having motivation to help Juribani out with this mission to see the Stella Dr. Vegapunk. At the same time, I'm kind of questioning Juribani's like headspace, because I understand that person looks just like your father, but you have to know there is tons of pacifistas out there in the world. So why are you thinking that this one person right here is your dad? Is this really your dad's body? And the one the revolutionary armies have, that's really a fake, not the real Kuma? Because I'm confused at this moment. Like, so why wouldn't you want Luffy to deliver damage to this pacifista so y'all could be cool? And I'm wondering, is Juribani incapable of seeing the pacifistas as pacifistas, not as her dad? She's so blindsided about this that as this pacifista is about to shoot a light beam directly at her, Luffy is going in to trying to save her at that moment. So that's where we leave off on the chapter with Luffy and the people that Luffy is with. And guys, if this is your first time here being at Ro Talk, I'm Ro, and I'll tell you all the news that you need to know about One Piece. And today we are doing a chapter review, but anytime that you come to our channel, we are doing different things. We also do sometimes be dabbling into between Twitch and playing some video games, and we want to start talking about sports, and we will be doing that soon. So guys, if you do like that, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel so you always be in the loop. Now let's get back to this review. And I really felt bad for Law in this chapter, because not only does his crew really suck and doesn't have that much support with him, but he also is now about to fight another emperor already. The man is not getting no break, And then what's more is that now he's got to change his gender back into being a man, because we are starting to learn more about Blackbeard's pirate crew. We get the scene of Law and his crewmates are turning into women, and we all know majority of Law's crew are men. So we know that something's going up. I immediately thought that some type of way they killed Ivankov and took their powers, but I'm like, Ivankov, I think, pretty sure has to be around that person to be able to do that, and I don't see nobody around Law's pirate crew. So what is actually going on? Come to find out, it was just Doc Q, and Doc Q has a sick fruit, so he's able to create like any disease right now, and that disease that he's creating is making everybody have an gender change. So don't know how it's possible, but guys, since Law has fought an emperor, he knows things about devil fruits that most people do not really have full understanding in, and that is Haki can trump over some devil fruit powers, meaning that that disease that's created by devil fruits is has a weakness towards Haki. So if you have a strong enough Haki, you are able to create, I guess, antibodies in this case for this disease that's going around. So Law has able to revert himself back to a male, and at the same time, since that is a disease, Law has antibodies, and now his whole crew can now start to recover from their gender swap. And I don't know why so many people having a crucial time to understanding like Haki is now this new thing that's able to revert devil fruit powers or to counter devil fruit powers. We knew this from a long time ago. We knew this back when Aokiji was fighting Doflamingo, when Doflamingo was not no type of form strong enough to fight Aokiji. But when Aokiji used his devil fruit powers on Doflamingo and froze him, Doflamingo managed to break free of that frozen statue of it is. And nobody really said what that was, and flat out, I'm just gonna say right now, it had to be Haki, and I'm pretty sure more people back at the time probably thought it was Haki as well too. So that was just one example. Another example was probably somewhere around Marineford, how we got to see certain things get it countered about Haki. Only time I don't believe that Haki can actually counter devil fruit powers is like a power like Whitebeard's power. When he can make an earthquake, you cannot just throw Haki out there to cancel that earthquake. That's not going to be impossible. My question is, how far can this power go? Just say Aki Inu is throwing a magma at Luffy. If Luffy has a strong enough Haki, is he able just to manage that blow even better? Is he able to put up an even stronger defense and it's not even really hot? Because time and time again we have seen like Kaido is now, he was using some hot magma powers on Luffy in his final fight between them two, and it was like hot on Luffy. But Luffy at the same time, while he was fighting against them at one point, when Kaido was using Dragon Breath, and then Kaido was like, how are you not burning? And Luffy said guts. So I'm wondering if guts and that adrenaline, that attitude about yourself, that you are able to just to push past some of the things, and especially now with Haki now being a more important part of the story. Well, let's get back to our story, because none other than we see even more powers that's going on with Blackbeard's crewmates, and we have Burgess now that's not getting teleported by Vanguard, because Vanguard has a warp fruit, so he could teleport people into a location. Now Law and his crewmates decided to land on an island that was far away from Blackbeard, and Vanguard now teleports now. Vanguard has a warp fruit, so he's able to teleport people from a boat all the way to an island, and that is kind of like that's kind of cool. I ain't gonna stunt it. I'm curious who on the Straw Hat crew will be able to fight them. and that has to be Usopp. And I don't know how Usopp is really going to do anything about that, and that he has to have like some type of observation hockey, because Van Arger main thing is to shoot, and Usopp main thing is to shoot as well too. So what is stopping from Van Arger to shoot a bullet backwards and then teleporting that bullet towards like the behind Usopp's head? Like, I don't know how Usopp can deal with something like that, but I can't wait for that fight. I think Oda's gonna do a wonderful job about that. And then another fight that's coming up is Burgess. I don't know who he will fight, because he now has strong fruit, and that strong fruit is basically like Superman, and he can be able to pick up mountains and throw it at you.
Oh, Hercules.
And it's real cool, and it does fit the mold of Burgess. And Burgess was already strong back then. Now he has a devil fruit that makes him even stronger. Like, how in the world is anybody gonna really tangle with that? And who will be able to tangle with him on the Straw Hat crew? Because he has this real strong power. Only person I could probably think of is Frankie, type of way of Frankie, because Frankie and Burgess, they're those macho men, and I figure like Oda will probably put them together in some type of way. But I don't know how Frankie will be able to deal anything to him or combat with him, especially since Frankie doesn't have any hockey that we have seen. Law is not no slouch, because he's able to counter mostly like all these people that's on Blackbeard's crew. But Law, let's get serious now, because Blackbeard himself is there right in front of your face, and he's ready to fight. What he wants right now is the red polyglyphs that you have from Kaido, and he knows you have it because you were just over there, so he knows you're not gonna leave that, and he wants that information. If you don't give it to him, there will be a fight, and you have to fight basically 4 versus 1, because your crew is flat out weak. So I hope the best for Law. What I eventually end up seeing is that Ben Belpo or somebody from Law's crew is going to end up just saying, Blackbeard, all the road polyglyphs, I don't care, just leave our captain alone. We don't want no smoke. Just let us leave here alive, and I won't burn these rubbings off if you leave us alone. And that's what I feel like is going to happen towards the end of that fight, because it's no type of way that Blackbeard is not going to get what he wrote from Law at all. And Blackbeard just captured Kobe, so it's just completely crazy how fast Blackbeard is moving around. He's almost on that level of Shanks, moving around from island to island, and it's kind of getting a little scary right now, because he was just at Amazon Lily, and now he's over here at this new island. So just things are getting a little bit scary how fast Blackbeard is moving. And guys, that was it with the review. I hope you did enjoy this review. If you did, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, so you always will be in that loop. And I appreciate you guys one more time, because it does really mean a lot, all the love and support I get on the channel. Until the next time, my Nakama, my friends, my family, peace.